This quarter panel is a pain in the... What is up, guys? Welcome back to a new episode from Backyard Boys. If you guys are new to this channel, consider smashing that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on your post notifications because we got some epic content. The last time you guys saw this tent over here, it was much different. We wanted to run lights over here, but those lights that we were putting in here they were like old and they're trashy and they were not bright as these LED ones over here. These are extremely bright. Whenever you're in here at night, you flick the lights and it's like daytime. Like even right now, you probably, yeah, boom, you know, like it's super bright. But anyways, guys, on this episode of Backyard Boys, we're actually gonna get back and work on the E92 M3. And what I want to explain to you guys, there's a lot more damage or a lot more complicated type of damage than you guys really think. Like if you can see over here, take a look right over here. I'll move this. I bet. Anyways, if you take a look over here, this quarter panel is kinked over here. It's got all sorts of buckles and waves, but the frame rail is decently straight, which is very complicated. Why? I'll explain. Because when we do pull out the frame rail, this quarter panel may not shift into its proper position, so we're gonna have to start playing with the quarter panel, starting lining up the bumper, the trunk, and everything like that. So, you know, stay with us because this is gonna be a tough process. We're gonna start thinking with our brains, kind of getting like the idea. As you guys can see, my clamp wall over there, I set up like a clamp wall. Look over there, right here. So we're gonna start, you know, thinking of ideas. I have one more strap coming tomorrow. That's when we're actually gonna start doing the real pulling by the frame rail and whatnot. But for now, we're just gonna get this car strapped down onto the frame machine, make sure it is all ready for tomorrow. So anyways, guys, stay tuned. Let's go. Okay, while Eddie over there is actually wrenching on that side, I'm going to explain to you guys where to clamp these and how to clamp these. So basically, most cars, I would probably say about maybe probably 100% of the older cars, and then in the 2018 and whatnot, like my M2, it was a little bit different with the clamping system. But anyways, they have like this kind of rail, kind of like a clamp rail or whatever you want to call it. I don't really know exactly what it's called, but you can kind of tell it runs along the whole entire car, and that is actually what this is made for. Basically, you lower the car into this like slot. You see what I'm saying over there? Right there, you slot, and then once all 4 points are on, you just tighten everything, tighten all these, tighten this, and then you tighten this. That way, the car and the frame machine is all super solid and in one piece. So we're working on this side right now. We're almost done. Oftentimes you do have to take the wheels off the car, but this one you don't, because as you guys can tell, it is floating. Look at that, boom, floating. Just a little bit, but it's floating. So that means we'd have to take the wheel off, and this side is sitting all the way down to where it needs to sit. So we got one more right over there, and after that, we are gonna start disassembling the rear and taking a closer look, because there's a lot of damage back here. Honestly, there's a lot more that a camera can capture. So hopefully I can actually go ahead and show you guys everything. So let's do this. Let's get that side picked up and continue working. Bada boom, we got it done. All 4 points are actually sitting on these, what's it called, like frame, whatever they're called. You guys get the point. It's sitting on these, not on the wheels. So now we're gonna go around and tighten all of these bolts. 1, 2, and then 4 over there and 4 up here. That way this is solid as a rock and it does not move when we go to pull the frame rail. So once we get those all tightened up, we're actually gonna start working on taking apart this rear end over here. First things first, we're gonna do is take apart this floor down over here. It is a plastic composite, like a carbon composite floor, which is very weird, and that is actually a reason why a lot of E92s, they drone when you do a muffler delete. But anyways, So we got a new floor right over here, and we got a couple more parts. New bumper, as you guys can tell. This is not the one that is from the accident. The one that was from the accident actually has like a fat Honda sign over here. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so a couple parts are here for the car, and we're ready to start flying through this thing, man. I mean, long hours is what's gonna get this car back on its feet, so let's do that now. Alrighty, we got this rear bumper bracket off. Basically the bumper slides into it, that way the gap is perfect, but we pulled it off because it is damaged, and I don't know where it went. Where is it?
Behind the car.
Okay, whatever.
It's broken.
It's broken. You guys get the point, you probably saw it. But anyways, right now we're gonna take out this floorboard right over here. Look right here. I don't know if you guys can see. Can you guys see that? It's cracked. Right there. Yeah, it's cracked, and we do have a new one. This part was actually kind of hard to find. It's weird because they have two different style ones, yeah. Yep. But yeah, so we're gonna pull that out right now, and then pull the battery out. That's actually probably gonna be everything. But okay, let's pull this thing out. Well guys, that's gonna be a progress for today. Not much work done, but we got everything prepped out for the actual frame pulling. But that rear subfloor right over here, it came right out after we unscrewed a couple of screws, and it just kind of playing with it, and it came right out. And we did realize one thing, that the frame rail right over there, it has a nice beautiful buckle right there, right here. There's a buckle right there. Kind of hard to tell on cam, but there's a buckle there for sure. And the reason we're not taking this piece off right here, this rear reinforcement bar, is because it kind of gives us a little better platform to like pull this section by. So tomorrow we're gonna grab the impact and tighten down all the clamps, make sure the car is sturdy as can be. That way it does not have any movement at all when we do start pulling it. And we don't have the impact with us right now, we have it at home, so we're gonna actually do that tomorrow. So catch you guys tomorrow. Next day here, and our strap has actually just arrived. It is right over here, and the pulling capacity on it is about it shows 6,000 pounds. So hopefully you can get this frame rail straight and in its place. So right now we're gonna strap down the car, because I told you guys we did not have the impact, but we also brought the impact with us. So right now we're gonna strap down the car and start pulling her. Let's go. This is crazy. If you guys saw over there, I kind of measured everything around just to get a rough basis, see what to work with. But I got this gap pretty dialed out. It's looking good all the way through, and the tail light fits and everything is good here. And we go to the passenger side and look at that. That quarter dropped about an inch, if not, that's more than an inch, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, just about a little less than an inch actually. But yeah, look at that. So I got a pretty decent level right here. That way I can see what we're working with. And that right here, this drop kind of forced this whole thing down and transfer the energy right into here. Man, this is gonna be fun. Whew. All right, well, I got the rebar off. Start measuring the frame rail. Pull the frame rail first into its proper place, and then after that we can actually start pulling this quarter skin, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we get it. Let's go. Alrighty guys, well, that is the progress for tonight. I sped up those time lapses because there was so much brainstorming and so much like work going on. It's probably like 7 hours of work right over there. But anyways, we got a ton of work done, and the trunk gap is looking alright. You know, there still needs some work, but it's looking alright over here. You guys saw before that gap was like 2 inches big, but this hole, we measured the frame rails, we measured the quarter panel everywhere, up and down, like every how we can measure it, and it seems to be in place right now by the main points, which are like here, you know, here you can say. But one thing though, this quarter panel has a lot of waves and whoops, and this kind of, it just warped it from the accident. So right over here, the gap looks decent. It still needs some work and whatnot, but it's looking all right. Fat dent over here, high spot, all that stuff's gonna get knocked out tomorrow. So I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow because it's extremely late. Peace out. Alrighty guys, well, next morning here, and we are going to continue working. We still have to pull the rear body panel out and shape this quarter panel before mud. So let's get that all busted out today, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Let's go. progress update. This quarter panel is a pain in the, you guys know what I want to say, but it is finally looking semi-decent, at least a little bit. The form of it is there. And with that being said, I'm super excited because, man, that right there, those time lapses you guys saw, that was probably close to 6 hours, maybe, yeah, about 6 hours of work. And we're still working on it. We got some funny spot over here, then we got some over here that I want to perfect prior to grinding all these down and putting mud on them. So let's continue working, boys. Alrighty guys, well, that is actually going to be it for this episode of Backyard Boys. And we actually decided to cut the frame part into 2 pieces, like part 1 and part 2, just because this is so much worse than we actually thought. This quarter panel is actually stretched. It's just, you just can't get it back into its shape. I need to start heating it, start, you know, putting it back into its place. There's like a bulge right over here, but we're working and we're getting a lot closer than it was from part 1. As you guys can tell right over here, this is looking already pretty decent and it's leveled flat. If you guys remember the video, the first video when I just revealed it, I showed you guys right over here and the gap was like, you know, close to 1 inch. I'll post a picture right over here, but it is level here now and over there. We still need to play with the gap a little bit. It's hard to kind of translate this on camera just because you guys realize when I make this gap over here and then like I would pull this over here, the gap would go away. So my first things first is get this lined up perfectly and then work with the gap over here in the taillight socket. It still needs a little bit of pulling and whatnot. But also, I've been working on a merch drop and whatnot, so let me know what you guys think of this design right over here. I think it's pretty sick and flashy, especially when you take a picture, it like lights up. But anyways guys, that is going to be it for this episode. And if you guys are new to this channel, please smash that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on your post notifications. And with that being said, you guys have a very beautiful day.